after forever, just for whatever. I was one of the dark hearts who thought that they'd never truly be open. But this is an explosion of star-crossed and blood-rushed and head-tossed and cheeks flushed and weeks lost. I wasn't looking for you. I said I never felt my heart like this. She said I've never felt my body. I always thought the point of love was just to keep from falling to the deep blue, the deep blue. Falling to the deep blue, the deep blue. I wasn't looking for devotion, just cheap emotion, but I found love like an ocean. On my second whiskey, your eyes tried to miss me, they lost control. I didn't know I had a soul until the moment you kissed me. I wasn't looking for you. I said I never felt my heart like this. She said I've never felt my body. I always thought the point of love was just to keep from falling to the deep blue, the deep blue. Falling to the deep blue, the deep blue. I wasn't looking for action, just some distraction, just a little weeknight, booth in the back. I wasn't looking for romance, just a quick slow dance, and the off chance that an off night and a side glance might lead me to the wrong hands. Strangers in a dark room, jokes didn't quite hear. Frosted window panes and cheap champagne, a face appears, and anything could happen in these cathedrals we roam, where shadow people dance and trade their glance and walk home alone. tell. Watching Midtown empty out and a kiss of farewell. They say we come from nothing and to nothing we'll return. And in between is gravity and bridges left to burn.
Hello everybody, and hello everybody checking out Harper Studios. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all doing fan-freaking-tastic. How's everybody doing? Y'all doing well? I know I'm doing well. Alrighty. We're gonna get right into the game, guys, because hopefully we can beat this game today. So the chat's gonna be a little light, little chat section's gonna be a little light tonight. We're going right into Dragon Quest XI. Hope you guys are ready, because I'm ready! Alright, let's go. By the way, guys, we are 2 followers away from our goal. 2. That's crazy. Here's what happened so far. Velveteer's quest to find his lost friends and a way to Arborea continues, and he finds himself in Sniflheim, where he offers to help investigate gold fever, an odd affliction that has been turning citizens into gold statues. As they search for answers, they learn of Eric's early life and help him recover his lost memories, and hoping to find a way to save those who have been turned to gold. They infiltrate the Gildenauts' castle only to learn the horrifying truth. Their leader, I can't say that, is none other than Eric's sister, Mia. They eventually overcome her, but this causes her powers to spin out of control, threatening to turn everything around her to gold. Eric prepares to land the killing blow, but Velveteer sees that Mia has returned her to her senses and stops him at the last second. Realizing he still has a chance to save his sister, he dives into a fray, paying no heed to the magical forces running wild around him. He takes Mia in his arm, and as he does, the curse is broken at last. With gold fever gone, the people of Sniflheim who were turned to the statues are restored to their human forms, and Mia is taken to rest in the church, weakened, but back to her old self. Eric has finally found the forgiveness the seer promised him, and the party set out once more on their quest to see the Lord of Shadows defeated and the light return to the world. Hello, rest in peace. Hello, Chaos. How you guys doing? Yes, it is time to save Veronica and Serena. Now, as you're judging by the title, I think I'm getting close to the end of the game. Just because of where we are in relation to the World Tree. I feel like we're going to go back to the World Tree. I may be totally wrong, but I feel like it's all starting to culminate into a big battle. And I swear to God, if I get played one more time with this game, lots of fun stuff. Oh, I forgot to mention, so there will be no stream tomorrow night. So don't expect stream night. However, Christmas Eve, I think I will be doing a stream. I don't think it's going to be anything big. I think it's just going to be a very chill stream for everyone who wants to come in and out because of Christmas Eve. So I might be doing some Animal Crossing and or Stardew Valley on Thursday. So lots of fun. Lots of fun. Yes. So I hope you all could all join me on Thursday. And then no stream Christmas Eve. And probably no stream this weekend either. So. I also see a lot of changes in my next stream after Christmas Eve. So hope you all ready. I forget. Going south. Want to battle some creatures? Let's battle some creatures. Yeah, no. Oh, I need to rest, don't I?
Carried the day.
What in the world? Boom! Man. I guess we character build, shouldn't we? Holy sh! forgot about her. You mean? That. Where's the last sword? Hopefully we can find a resting place quickly, so we don't die. Ba-ba-da-dum. Shower routes. Which there is one right down there, which is awesome. Ooh. Boom! Ow. Boom! Oh, don't laugh, Grandpa.
We have carried the day.
You don't want to laugh. Ba ba dum bum 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 bum. Ba, ba, bum, bum. Yes. Ba da ba bum. Yes. Wasn't there a dragon here? I feel like there was a dragon there last time. Oh no. This is not good. Whoa.
Something is not right here. Be on your guard. Behind me.
Oh, he's protecting me. We'd love to see it. Ha! I knew it! I didn't save. Oops.
since time beyond memory, I have been sealed away in that frozen fjord. But now I am released.
It's Shinron.
Alas, my lengthy imprisonment has sorely depleted my powers. If the skies above Sniffelheim are to once more dance with fire, then first I must feast. You shall have the honor of being the Auroral Serpent's Sabbath.
Battle. Damn.
Let's go! Try this, Messiah.
Oh no. Get up, Velveteen.
Prepare to be punished. I am not done
Yes.
Here you go, laddie.
Oh.
My friends.
Ow. For me. Thank you. Oh, shit. All right.
Victory!
You are strong, just like the detestable luminary, the one who sealed me away all those years ago. But where Ardwin succeeded, you shall succumb.
What the... Can't move.
Piteous wretches, prepare to be consumed. No, my strength, it's straining away. What is that awful noise?
Serena.
on, thou black offence! May heaven's winds propel thee hence! Don't worry, everyone. I'll have you back on your feet in no time.
Who are... No way!
Bold luminary, Yggdrasil's chosen, long have I waited to greet you. We of Arborea swear to protect you. While we live, none shall defeat you. It's ever so nice to see you all again.
Serena, it's really you. Thanks for helping us out there. But where did you spring from? And where have you been?
I've been trying to make my way back to Arborea ever since that awful day. But I got rather
Sweet, they saved the
sidetracked
best
seeing
one
to
for
those
last,
who needed my
Veronica.
help.
I don't know if she's the best.
When I heard that the golden iceberg blocking Sniffelheim Harbor had melted away, I decided to try and make my way home from there. I never thought I'd meet you on the way.
You're heading to Arborea, eh? We're on our way there ourselves. Reckoned you keepers would be the best folk to ask about a certain sacred flying contraption.
A flying contraption? Well, I've never heard of such a thing, but I'm sure Father Benedictus will know something about it. It's so wonderful to see you all again.
Yay.
Would you mind awfully if I tagged
Of
along with
course.
you?
Serena rejoins the party. Awesome sauce. We love to see it.
If we follow the path up the mountain, we'll be in Arborea in no time. Well then, shall we?
Yes, queen. Yes. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. I hope so. I have a feeling the game's not done yet. I have a feeling that you're trolling me again, Chaos.
You won't get away with
Oh shit!
Let's get you patched.
Got it. So I shouldn't expect to be done. Is that what you're telling me? Ugh. All right, fine.
Come,
All is well that ends well.
Things are looking up.
Spice's used unbrittled flames. Hello, Miss Spice. How you doing, girl? Hope you're doing well. Oh, I was too late. It's all right. How you doing, Spice? Hey, Spice, you see something in the top right corner? Shit, I'm okay, just waiting for them to fix my internet. Oh, what happened with your internet? That's no good. Stone Guardian up here. Thursday on Christmas Eve? Wow. Okay. Only 2 lefts. I know. I'm so excited. I'm also thinking about doing a podcast in 2021. And Jen, so I'm actually probably going to run it by you. I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. Oh no! Aboria has been destroyed.
This is awful. It was so beautiful here before.
Ooh. Upgraded. Mm-hmm. More like Force.
Our poor little angels. Veronica.
Fidelis, Alma, you must not lose hope. Veronica and Serena are the heirs to the power of that most holy of sages. As long as they are together, there is nothing that can... Oh.
Serena? Is it really you?
Oh, interesting.
Mother, Father, you're alive!
Oh, Serena, my little angel. I never thought I'd see you again.
Serena,
Oh, that's
my
weird.
child, have you come back to us alone? What of Veronica?
She's not here. But I thought she must have made her way home already. She's certainly somewhere nearby. I can sense it. Somewhere north of here.
You can really tell where she is?
She is still lost. Go
Yes,
find her.
it's her. I know it is. We have to go and find her.
Ah, that sucks though. Like overall, that kind of sucks. Sorry to hear that, Gentle. Part of me wants to fight Serena. Why do you want to fight Serena?
You think Veronica's really here? If she is, she's keeping a low profile.
When we were children, Veronica and I would often come to this grove to play. I was sure she would be waiting for me here. Veronica! Veronica, where are you? Ah, there she is! I knew it! Wake up, lazy bones! You'll catch cold sleeping outside like this. Veronica? Look, her staff is shining, and so is the mark on your hand. Do you think if you touch it, you might have one of your visions?
Back to the dark day. Tree falls apart, yes.
Oh no! This can't be happening!
Yeah.
If Yggdrasil falls, the world will...
Yes.
I have to do something. You're the only ones who can save this world. Don't let me down.
Oh, she saved all of them? Really?
You have to go on without me, Serena. Look after the luminary.
Oh my god! No. No. Oh my goodness, indeed, gentle.
Veronica, you gave your life to save us.
And no one discovered her body till now? That makes...
No.
Ah! Oh my god!
Oh, darling. Even in your final moments, you were thinking of your friends.
No!
Oh, Veronica.
Wow.
Why must the good die young?
She wasn't here after all.
You didn't do it right, gentle.
But I will not let her death be in vain. Where she led, I must follow. I have to tell everyone. I have to
Oh
tell...
god, am I about to start crying
Mother
on
and
stream?
Father.
This is not good. I cannot cry on stream. I cannot start crying on stream. I cannot start crying on stream. Oh my god. Alright. Wipe my eyes. Oh god, that literally almost got me teary. Oh god, stop!
O great and glorious Yggdrasil, whose holy heart is the symbol of all life, today we mourn the loss of a beloved child of Arborea.
I liked Veronica.
Though she
That's
came into life with another of your hallowed leaves.
that sucks.
She departed this realm.
That's
alone.
that hurt hard. Ooh, that hit harder than
She one day
Chaos. That hit
returned
me
to
hard, and I
you
barely used Veronica.
and
She wasn't a
bloom
part of my
again
main
upon
team,
your
so I can
branches.
only imagine what it was like for you. That sucks.
I thank
thank you all for gathering here today to celebrate the life of my dear sister. Even in her darkest hour, Veronica thought not of herself, but only of protecting the luminary. She was a keeper to the last. Now, I ask that each of you offer up a lock of hair to the sacred flame, that its light may guide her on her way back to the World Tree.
There's my hair.
Oh, Veronica, my little angel. Curse you, Mordigan. Why could you not have taken me instead?
Oh, I'm about to start crying again.
My darling, darling daughter. How could you leave us without saying goodbye?
Serena appears steadfast despite her grief. But the sight of her poor parents is heartbreaking indeed.
My child, I must speak with you and your friends. When you have a moment, please come to the cathedral.
That is depressing. That is very depressing. But I don't think this is the. I think there's a twist coming. She can't be dead. I don't believe it.
Forgive me for summoning you here at this time of sadness, but there is something I believe you will be eager to hear. You came in search of the sacred conveyance upon which Erdwin and his allies rode out to face the Dark One, did you not?
How did you know that?
For some days before your arrival, Holy Yggdrasil granted me another vision. I saw you, honored luminary. You were standing alongside Serena upon a great white object that transported you to an island in the sky. A strange and beautiful place.
And you think this was a vision of the future?
I do. For in my dream, Veronica was not with you. I have been
extra
greatly
shot of
troubled
it,
as to what her absence might mean.
That's funny, Gentle.
I had hoped and prayed that my fears were unfounded, yet, alas, they were not. Which made me wonder if the conveyance upon which you stood might also be real. And then I remembered. Cetacea. The legends tell of a divine being who soared through the skies on silver wings, a beast summoned to Erdwin's side by a mystical melody. Perhaps it was upon Cetacea's back that you rode in my vision. And perhaps the island upon which you alighted is the next step on your journey. I intend to scour the annals for indications of how she might be summoned. I will inform you forthwith if my researches should prove fruitful. Now, the day's unhappy events have surely taken their toll. Rooms have been prepared for you all at the inn. Pray, rest a while.
Yep, I'm just going to sleep, guys. Bye. That sucks, though. That really sucks. That really, really sucks. In the dead of night, Vivaldi hears the mournful tones of a harp drifting on the air. I'm surprised how Serena was able to actually keep her composure. Like, I feel like she would be the one who would break down. I feel like if it was the opposite, I feel like Veronica would have been able to... Why is no one else sleeping with me? Alright. Oh, Serena. Promise, promise, oh my love, thou wilt wait when borrows above, that our leaves might bloom together. Through time hath torn thee from my arm, and time hath wrought us countless harm. Time shall make us one forever.
It's a love song from the Age of Heroes. The story of a lady pining for her long-lost sweetheart. No one remembers who wrote it, but I've loved it since I was a little girl. You know, something's been bothering me. Veronica? We were born at the same time, so our leaves bloomed at the same time, didn't they? Do you think they'll fall at the same time too?
I don't know. You've always been a bit slow, to be honest. But I hope they do. Serena, I want you to promise me something. If anything happens to me, promise you'll finish this without me.
I don't remember this scene.
I shan't promise anything of the sort. I don't even want to think of such things. If only I had promised to do as she asked. Perhaps she might have been able to make her sacrifice more easily.
Don't think like that, Serena.
She was right, you know. I always have been slow. When it came to talking.
Oh God, this is depressing. Ah, my heart.
I was always a step behind her. But now I must tread my own path. Alone.
Here's the breakdown.
I hate to ask, but would you mind awfully not going anywhere for a little while? I think I'm going to
Oh God, I think I'm about to join you, girl.
Thank you. I'm sorry to be such a bother, but I shan't be one any longer. Veronica died to save me. I must make the most of my life, for her sake.
Huh?
No more tears. That was the old me. Goodbye. What in the world? I feel different. Thank you, dear sister.
Oh. Use all of Veronica's spells and abilities. That's right, Gentle. The twins have reunited. Oh, so Gentle. Right. So my Animal Crossing island's going quite well right now. By the way. Can't wait to show it off eventually. I'm getting all the pieces in order.
Good morning, or should I say good afternoon? The sun's already high in the sky.
It's been an hour? That's crazy.
Father Benedictus dropped by earlier. He says he has something to show us at the top of the mountain. Everyone else has gone on ahead. But I thought I'd wait for you.
Well,
shall we go and join them? There's a little door to the right of the cathedral. The path is through there.
I just kicked out an ugly ant teacher. So, Gentle, do you know the trick to kick villagers out that I've learned that I will be using? Because there's a couple villagers I already have. I'm like, no. Goodbye. So the trick to get rid of the villagers actually put a fence around their house so they can't get out. So they don't talk to anybody, they get lonely and they want to leave. That's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, you put a fence around their house and don't talk to them, don't hit them, don't do anything with them, don't interact with them, and then interact with all your other villagers. And it usually takes about 10 to 15 days. So if you time travel, you can get villagers out of your place quickly. Another thing that I learned is if you're connected to the internet and your friends are also kicking out villagers, their kicked out villagers could potentially go to your island. So yeah, you don't want to interact with your villagers you want to kick out. But you will have to interact with all your other villagers and seal them off.
There you are. So glad you could finally join us.
All my houses and all my buildings are on the beach right now. Like, I gotta clean out the island and then put everything
Veronica
slowly.
Standing upon this very ledge. It is known as Luminary's Landing. When Erdwin descended from the heavens after facing
Well, you also
the
don't want
Dark
them
One,
near other villagers too.
This is where he alighted. And this is the Calamus flute. In my dream, Veronica played upon it. It once belonged to the great sage Serenica. She left it in Arborea on her final visit, the day after the Dark One finally fell. I gave it to Veronica as a memento of her heroic ancestor. And yet, when I awoke this morning,
Tommy Nook and Celeste.
There it was, upon my pillow. It is a sign. The flute will reveal the path you must tread. Serena, my child, if you would be so kind.
Of course. I think I must be doing it wrong. But if Veronica was playing it in Father Benedictus's vision, it must be the key. Can you try,
I need Bo and I'll be happy. I have Sterling on my island. And Mo. Sterling and Mo are the only two I like so far.
The mark! It's glowing!
What the?
A fishing rod? I fear it is I who am seeing visions.
You got a bite! Oh, go on, darling.
So Mondo.
Reel it in.
Why is there always a whale? God, in every freaking JRPG there's a whale. In Link's Awakening, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, in this, there's always a freaking whale. Somebody clip that, because I'm going ballistic about a whale.
No, that's a whale.
So it was as I suspected. It was upon her back that you rode in my dream. The sacred conveyance of the luminary, Cetacia. It seems
In Link's Awakening, there's a whale that sits on top of the island on the mountain.
Play it whenever you require her aid.
Right? Like I'm not think is that egg that turns into a whale? There's a whale in Link's Awakening.
Go, luminary, and seek out the floating island. It is the World Tree's will. Whatever awaits you there will surely aid you in the fight against the Lord of Shadows. Do not let Veronica's sacrifice be in vain.
Oh. Don't look down. That's right, shaken not stirred. Welcome on in, buddy. How you doing today? Alright, after recovering the flute left behind by late Veronica, I want someone to bring us certain. Well, I'm assuming that's the island. Oh! I feel like I would fall off at this point. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm assuming. It's the only place I can think of. Okay. Oh, got it. Okay, maybe I don't go here? Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, it's that one. There's the castle right there. Yes. 2 of their bodies are in Breath of the Wild, and there's a 4th mystery whale in Breath of the Wild that doesn't match any known Zelda whale. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know that.
So there really is an island in the sky, just as Father Benedictus said. I wonder if he was right about there being something helpful here too.
Huh.
Is that a temple of some
I don't
sort?
know. Let's go figure it out.
Well, there must be some reason we were brought here. Shall we go and find out what it is?
I really can't be mad because it's Serena, and she did just lose her sister. So like I'm trying to be respectful. But
We can see you, you know. Come out from behind there.
oh,
Huh? What is it?
Ah, it's you!
oh,
I'm of the Watchers.
The Watchers? And what are they?
Of course. Ground dwellers, not snow. Not snow of us. We watch over Erdrea. Watch for as long as Erdrea exists.
Well, what do you know? And what are you doing skulking behind a pillar, Mr. Watcher?
This is home. Home of all of us. Once were many islands, many watchers, but attack came. Lord of Shadows. All crashed. Only this island remains. Only me.
That's awful.
Morrigan got to you guys too, huh? Sounds like you've been through a
Aw.
lot. Sorry if I was out of line.
that
just then.
sucks.
How come you survived anyway?
That's a question
And
to ask.
why did
Eric.
this place get left alone?
It's Mr. Popo.
Guiding light burns within. Has burned since time began. Was in Temple of Dawn. Here. Was cleaning. Attack came. Was protected by guiding light.
Majin Buu.
This guiding light of yours sounds pretty special.
Oh, we're here looking for a special something to help us defeat the Lord of Shadows. Do you think the guiding light might be it?
Not know. Is not weapon. Cannot defeat. Perhaps. Wish to help. But I'm only child. Know little of world yet.
Guess we'll just have to take a look for ourselves then, huh?
Yes. But what are we going to do about our poor little friend here?
Not worry. I'm fine. I'm Watcher. Story of Watchers not over. You beat Lord of Shadows. Then World Tree returns. Cycle restored. Life and rebirth. Dead ones get new life. My brothers. My sisters. All begins again. Please, Luminary, succeed.
Wait. You know who he is?
Oh, yeah, he's a watcher. I'm assuming he knows. Temple of Dawn. How,
Oh, it's beautiful. And so holy. I feel purer just looking at it.
Pure, huh, lady? Mm-hmm.
Wait, the mark.
Ooh.
Whoa! Did all that light just get squished down into that
Yes.
little thing?
The guiding light.
Oh, look. I sense something very special in them. I know this feeling. Yggdrasil. I think you should take a closer look, don't you? I've a feeling they have something rather important to show us.
Ah, bright light.
all saw that too, right?
Yes. That man. The mark on his hand. Oh. You don't
I do think.
Aye, I do. And I've a feeling you've the same instinct, laddie, eh? That was Erdwin, the luminary of legend. I never thought I'd see him with my own eyes.
So those were the original heroes? The ones who defeated the Dark One way back when? The more we know about them, the more chance we have of finding out how they beat it, right?
Ah, you're not wrong. Let's see what those other seedlings have to show us, shall we?
Is that you, Santa Claus? Oh. Power! Oh, I'm nowhere near done. Volcano. That where we just were.
Did you see the size of that hammer? Was it just me, or did it seem special somehow?
It was no weapon, that much is certain. A forging hammer, if I am not mistaken. But what were they forging?
I wonder. Well, I think we all know where they were at least, don't we?
Let's see if the last seedling makes things any clearer.
Try to make the ultimate weapon to kill the great Lord of Shadows. Yes, 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 yes.
I know that view. I'm sure of it.
So if I understand what we saw correctly, they found some ore and a hammer, then went up a mountain and forged a sword. Wait, of course. The Sword of Light.
Indeed. They would not have gone into battle with the Dark One unarmed.
Yes, that's the power we need. That's how we'll drive the darkness from the world.
But Mordegon took it, right? Unless... Are these visions trying to say we need to... Yeah, that must be it. We need to make our own Sword of Light, just like the old heroes did. All right, we've got ourselves a plan. Not much of a plan, but we'll just have to fill in the gaps as we go. Let's start by paying a visit to the places we saw in those visions. I'm betting we'll find some more clues there.
Aye. It looked like they found that ore on another one of these floating islands. I reckon we'll need to have a word with our wee pal about that.
And that was Gallopolis in the vision where they had the hammer, right? Maybe the Sultan knows something.
Oh, and I remember now. That mountain, it's the volcano near Hotto, isn't it? How could I forget?
Oh, it sounds like we're going on a wee world tour then. Hotto, Gallopolis, and wherever that other island happens to be.
It seems we're setting off on another adventure, Veronica.
Oh, God.
You'll be with us in spirit. I know it.
All right, let's go to work.
What if I just stand there like, yep.
You find, Luminary? Thing you seek? All is intriguing. Remember a tale from my grandfather. Guiding light helped ancient heroes. Helped in forging of sword. Sword to beat darkness. You have seen their quest. Floating island. Island of vision. This is called Battleground.
Battleground? Why would anyone go looking for ore on a battleground?
Mine was there. Mine of great ores. Great powers fought for ores. Great battle occurred. Great losses. Great pain. Victors took all. No ore. No more. Perhaps. Tale of centuries ago. Perhaps tale false. Perhaps all remain. Perhaps.
Well, it can't hurt to go and have a look now, can it? Come on, you lot.
If you forget purpose, if you need good luck.
Thank you, I'll never be back. Well, thank God for that. I was about to say, there's a guy here. Bum, 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 guy plays this game for over 50 hours. That's crazy. 52? Crazy. Rest up. We're on our way. Ba-da-da-da. thanks for this. Aw, it's okay. No, you say hi to Ryan. You give him some love. Who is that in this random location?
Another day, another victory.
You wish to speak with me?
What to do here? Boom!
There's life in the old dog yet.
Wow, almost everyone leveled up there. Yes, found it.
Something tells me we found our special ore.
Huh? You have got to be kidding me.
Honey, are you okay?
I'm more than okay. Do you know what this is? It's orichalcum. Do you have any idea how much this stuff is worth?
Orichalcum? Well, well. I've read about it in books, but I've never seen it with my own eyes. Are you sure, laddie?
Am I sure, he asks? You bet I am. I steal valuable stuff for a living, remember? This is it. The rarest metal in the world. I wish Mia was here to see this.
Huh.
So this is the ore we were looking for. I should have guessed. Imagine what a fortune you could make with a lump this big. Sorry. Got a little carried away there.
Let's grab it and get out.
We're one step closer to making that...
Alright, I gotta get me a drink. I'll be right back.
So the rumors were true. Erdwin's lantern descends towards Gallopolis. They say it began when Yggdrasil fell and darkness covered the land. But why? What is happening to our world?
Erdwin's lantern, eh? Back in Dundrasil, we had a legend that after Erdwin defeated the Dark One, he ascended to the skies as a star, so he could watch over Erdrea for all eternity.
Grab him!
That was one of Eleanor's favorite stories. And I always thought it was just that. A story.
Grab him!
But now I'm not so sure. I mean, if the Lord of Shadow's rise caused Erdwin's lantern to descend... Are you even listening, laddie? Oh, charming. Well, I can share my musings with you again if you'd like. Heard everything you needed to hear. Well, I suppose this is no time to be standing around pontificating. The lantern's on course to crash straight into this fair kingdom. We'd best go and see what the Sultan thinks of all this, eh?
Aye, oh goody.
my boy, please. Your reckless heroics will get you killed.
Fear not, Father. I will take all necessary precautions. By the time I return, the mystery of the star will be solved and Gallopolis will be saved.
It is you. Thank you once again for all you did for my son. What in the name of the... Surely this cannot be.
It's been a while, Your Majesty? Years, in fact. I haven't seen you since the Colloquy of Kings, and the disaster that followed.
Lord Robert, please, you must listen. What we were told about the Luminary was false. He is not the spawn of the darkness after all. Alas, we were all deceived by King Carnelian. We allowed the world to be destroyed. We brought this disaster upon ourselves.
Oh, come on, Your Majesty. We can hardly be blamed. This is Mordegon's doing. He's the one who possessed King Carnelian and caused all this chaos. This is down to him and no one else.
Lord Robert.
Now, listen. We need to talk about that star. If Erdwin's lantern falls much further, Gallopolis is done for. What do you know about it?
Sadly, very little. I have tasked my finest scholars with investigating its origins, but they have discovered nothing. There is one thing that may be of interest. My son Faris claims to have been able to make out runes on the surface of the barrier that surrounds the star.
Runes, eh? This is the first I've heard of a barrier surrounding the lantern, let alone anything being written on it. Was your lad sure of this?
He certainly appeared to be. In fact, he has taken one of our most learned scholars to the Celestial Sands in order to investigate the ruins more closely. It is there that we believe the star will make its landing.
I see. Reckon we'd better go and take a good look at these ruins ourselves, eh? Shall we head out after the prince?
It would put my mind at ease if you would, Lord Robert. I cannot help but worry about him being abroad in such dangerous circumstances.
Makes sense.
You have my thanks. I will instruct the guards to permit you passage through the checkpoint. Journey safely.
Halting from battle. Ta-da, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
No. You agreed to do this. Come. We must move closer. We cannot hope to read the runes from here.
But, Your Highness, I am sorry. It is too dangerous. I'm afraid I must refuse.
Do you have a means of deciphering the symbols without entering the celestial sands?
Well, no, but...
Oh, Principal! Hello, darling. Long time no see.
Servando! What an unexpected pleasure.
The Sultan said you were out here in the scary sands trying to read runes of a falling star. Huh. Guess you grew up to be quite the brave boy.
Yes, he did.
I am simply doing my duty to my people. But what about you? What brings you to the sands?
The same thing as you, Your Highness. We have come to investigate Erdwin's lantern.
Sir Hendrik? The Sir Hendrik? Ah, the hero of Heliodor, here in my kingdom!
You know who I am, Your Highness?
But of course! You are my hero! You are every aspiring knight's hero! To serve under your command is my life's ambition!
I am honored, Your Highness. The courage you have shown in venturing out here suggests that you would make a fine knight, wherever or whomever you serve.
Truly,
that's funny.
You have no idea how much your words mean to me. Oh, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Sorry to butt in, Your Highness, but might I ask how your investigations are going? You were looking a wee bit frustrated back there when we arrived.
Indeed I was, old man. That fool of a scholar is too frightened to accompany me any further into the sands. I am not one for learning. The symbols will mean nothing to me, which leaves me in quite a predicament.
Well, I think I might be able to help out there, if you'll allow me.
You are some manner of wizened ancient? Excellent! I would be very much obliged. The runes can be best seen from the ruins in the center of the sands. Meet me there.
Taking a nap, Principal? And there was me thinking you'd come to investigate the lantern.
Truly, it is even more magnificent when one lies directly beneath it. How many can say that they have seen such glories up close?
You're a special one, darling. Don't go changing, What are these ruins, anyway? And how come they're out here all on their own in the middle of the desert?
Huh? Oh, they have been here forever. Since the age of our grandfathers' grandfathers, or some such nonsense.
They were built for something very important. I just know it. Ooh! Maybe some kind of stage! What a place to perform! Can you imagine?
You weren't wrong about the runes, Your Highness. I can definitely see some on the side of the lantern. Let's take a closer look, shall we?
Yes.
This means you must be the...
Are you okay, honey? You were talking to yourself, and we all know what that means.
Things past, return to me!
What's happening?
The lantern!
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's falling! It's falling! It's falling! We're gonna be squished!
Lord Robert, it is not safe here. We must fall back.
Oh, give me a minute, will ye? I think I can make out what the runes are saying.
Please, Lord Robert, it is too dangerous.
What is this? What is happening?
Now none shall challenge me. This world is mine, and mine alone.
Was that the Sword of Shadows?
The lantern. It has disappeared.
Kaboom, indeed.
The star was named for Erdwin, but can such an ominous phenomenon truly be the work of heroes? Was the foul creature wielding the sword not...
That was no foul creature, Sir Hendrik. That was the savior of Gallopolis. He spared us all from the falling star. The kingdom is saved. I must return to the city and spread... Yes!
Kalasmus. What could that mean?
Why don't we go ask the Sultan? It's his kingdom, maybe he knows something.
Aye.
There's definitely more to this. yum, yum. Ba 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 ba. How about they just forget about the queen? Like, who cares?
It is a relief to see you safe, my friends. Faris has explained all that came to pass out upon the sands.
Aye. Though, I wouldn't go calling him your savior just yet. Anyway, the runes on the barrier around the star, they spelled out a word. Kalasmus. Does that mean anything to you?
Kalasmos. Sadly, it does not.
Well, if it was written on the side of a star, you can bet it means something. Something important. Yeah, but we can't go letting it distract us too much. Mordigan's not going to defeat himself. We've work to be getting on with.
Lord Robert, your quest to defeat the Lord of Shadows is a noble one. The people of Gallopolis will be praying for your success.
Yes, and if there is ever anything you require, you need only ask. After all, I still owe you a favor.
Oh, I clean forgot. We need to ask the Sultan about that hammer that used to belong to Erdwin.
Why'd you...
Is there something I...
As a matter of fact, there is. I need to pick your brains about a giant hammer that's supposed to be kept here in Gallopolis. We're going to need it to defeat Mordigan, and apparently, you lot have had it since the Age of Heroes.
The giant hammer, you say? Ah, yes. You mean the forging hammer? It has been in the royal family for generations. Faris, fetch the forging hammer from the treasure room.
Stolen. Oh, I was surprised.
Aye, this is it. This is Erdwin's hammer, the one we saw in the vision.
Father, do you truly intend to give the hammer away? We had intended to sell it in order to fund this year's Sun Nation.
Silence! Insolent boy! The forging hammer is one of Gallopolis' greatest treasures. It has been handed down through the generations since time immemorial. But if we must relinquish it, then so be it. You are the only ones who can defeat the Lord of Shadows. If you need it, it is yours.
Yes.
My nurse once told me that the power of the spirit of the land, it is said that it can beat it. Well, I hope it helps you on...
Thanks. Otto! I was expecting a bigger battle, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's see. You know, I'm actually gonna stop here. I think this is a good spot to end. And we can actually continue this when we get back. I might do a weekend stream and finish this out. Alright, that's gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna go send us over to Miss Hagall. Let's go ahead and save. Alright guys, we're gonna send you over to Miss Hey Girl. She's lovely. I'm gonna give her a lot of love, so make sure you give her lots of love, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back Christmas Eve. Please, before you go, make sure you're following me on all my social medias and you're in my Discord. That way you can stay updated for when I go live and how I go live. Love y'all. Bye.